Now, Malorie Blackman is the best-selling author behind hit TV series Noughts And Crosses, and fantastic books they are. She's now, though, sharing her own life story in her new book, Just Sayin, and she joins me now. It's so good to see you.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
Malorie, what a life you're having. It's extraordinary, it really is. But the thing that I admire most about you is all of those rejections you got from publishers, more than 80.
Yes.
And you just kept saying, nope, I know I've got something good here. I've got something to say. You just kept going.
Well, you know, the 82 rejection letters were for about 8 or 9 different books.
Sure.
But it was kind of, oh, another rejection letter, another rejection letter. But it's one of those things when you know that you've found the thing that you were meant to do.
Yes.
It's like all the cogs in your head kind of just clicking into place. And so I knew I wanted to be an author and I needed to be an author, so I wasn't going to give up. But around about my 60th rejection letter, I'm not going to lie, I did come about that close to giving up because I thought, gosh, if all these editors are saying no, should I listen? But I'm really glad I didn't.
I'm so glad, and so millions of people are so glad you didn't because we love your books. You were saying, though, this book, which is about you and about your life, was the hardest ever that you had to write?
Yes,
yeah.
Because it's about me.
Yeah.
And all my other books have been total fiction, works of imagination straight out of my head. And I could create characters and have them go for some really tough things.
Sure.
But then I could walk away from my keyboard and away from those characters.
Yeah.
But with this, it dredged up an awful lot of memories and a lot of things that I then it felt like I was living through them again.
I can understand.
And that made it very hard to write. But I'm glad I did.
I'm glad you did. It's a fascinating story. I mean, I didn't realise at 13 you were basically, your dad walked out, you're homeless.
Yeah. We lived in a homeless shelter for a while.
Jeez, Malorie.
And, you know, there were a spate of programmes about kind of bailiffs turning up at people's doors and turfing them out, which I did watch an awful lot of those because I thought, I have been there. I've been on the other side of that.
Yes.
And it is this thing of just having the whole rug swept out from under you and what you felt was your life, it no longer is. And it was a horrific time in my life. But unfortunately, so many people nowadays are going through the same thing.
It's horrendous.
Exactly, with mortgage rates rising and so on.
We've just been talking about food prices and all the rest of it. A lot of people didn't realise, though, what you'd gone through. And what I think you write about really well, and like so many other women, I've gone through it myself, is when you write about your miscarriages. Because it's really... that is the hardest thing to write about and obviously to go through. But I'm so glad you put that in there. I'm so glad you did.
You know what? So am I, because it's something, it still feels very personal to me.
Of course.
But what got me with my second miscarriage is when I explained to people that, OK, I'm not in a good space mentally, I cannot do this, whatever, and I told them why, I admitted why I'd had a miscarriage. So many other women reached out and said, I've been through the same thing, I've been through similar, which I did not expect at all. It was a shocker, because it's one of those things where when you go through it, you kind of think it's just you and your partner going through it, and all your... no, it's one of the things that doesn't get mentioned until people bring up the subject. Sure. And so it was so many women reaching out and just saying, have been there, have been where you are, take your time, don't feel there's a time limit on how long you can grieve. Sure. And also, you know, and I'd have good days, but I had some very, very dark days, and I'd just phone up my husband in tears and say, Neil, can you come home? And bless him, he'd just say to his boss, my wife needs me, and he'd be out the door.
That's really good. He's a keeper.
Oh, definitely, he is.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it was traumatic, but I didn't want to shy away from that in the writing of it.
I'm glad you didn't, and that's the thing about it. It's real, it's very powerful. And as it would be. I mean, you're a fantastic writer. I came upon your book by chance, Noughts And Crosses, and what... See, that whole thing, it made people think in a completely different way. Didn't matter what colour you are, what religion you are, what race you are. It just made you think about the world in a different way and how it would be to be in someone else's shoes. Oh, it's so, because you don't really get that. And then, of course, we had the drama.
Yes,
we had the drama on TV, which was
I was so happy with that. I thought they did an amazing job. But what's been fascinating to me as well is the letters I've received from people have read Noughts And Crosses, and I've had so many from Ireland where they said, oh, you're talking about Catholics and Protestants, aren't you?
Oh, no,
and
that's interesting.
Exactly, and I've had letters from, like, you know, Israel. Are you talking about the situation between Jewish people and Palestinians and so on? And is that what this book is about? And everyone's just adapting it to their own kind of, you know, their own life and their own sort of frame of reference. And I thought that's so flattering. I find that's incredibly flattering. Because originally in the book, I mean, I only mention colour once. They're either Noughts And Crosses or daggers and blankers. Yeah. So it's only once in the book that I mention colour, so that when you first start to read the book, it's, well, OK, who's this character and who's that character? I mean, now it's with the current cover, it's kind of obvious, because they showed the characters. But originally it was just sort of a block of black and a block of white, my name and the book title. So I remember when my mum first read the book, and I gave her a proof copy, and so she phoned me up, really annoyed. And she said, I'm on page 60. And she said, is Callum white or black? And I said, he's white, Mum. And she said, so Seffi's black? And I said, yes, Mum. And she said, now I'm going to have to start the whole book again because she thought it was the other way round.
But that's good.
So, exactly.
That is good.
I thought, yes, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to play with people's perceptions about who these characters were.
No, absolutely. And out of all of this, you lucky women, pals with Stormzy, who, of course, as we know, is going to be... I mean, he's just been appointed the coach of the... Well, he's the team manager, actually, of the England team for Soccer Aid.
Oh, okay,
so he's a man of many talents.
Oh, wow, OK. Well,
this must make you the coolest mum in the world.
It must be what, so...
You must be so cool. You're the coolest mum. Yeah, this is you. I mean, it's great.
But you know what my daughter says, because Tiny Temper mentioned me in one of his songs, and Stormzy mentioned me in one of his songs, and my daughter said, do these people know how uncool you are, Mum? Which is true. But bless her, she did say, you know what, part of the reason that you are cool is because you don't try to be cool.
That's the secret of coolness.
I know, so I thought, well, I'll take that,
That's the secret of coolness, Malorie. It really is.
But Stormzy's been amazing. I mean, I've met him a couple of times and he's been so lovely. So.
He does a lot under the radar to help other, you know, like other authors coming through who, you know, maybe wouldn't have the thrownness. It's a good Scottish word and it sums you up. Thrown, you know, the determination and the grit to actually keep going. And he's been great. And he doesn't shout about it. It just all...
He just he gets on with it. And that's what I admire. I've got so much time for that man.
This is a great story, an amazing story. It really is. I wish I had more time to really talk to you more. But Malorie, thank you. And Just Saying, My Life in Words out now.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, it's great to see you. Thank you so much.